I'd like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Sit back, relax. We'll be getting started shortly. We're going to be talking about the upcoming vote of no confidence that the Blythe police chief remains in his position. Hopefully that vote will come up this Tuesday. So please attend. So sit tight, be back in a little bit. I'd like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Got a good show for you today. As I promised, we will be jumping back on the issue of the vote of no confidence that will be coming up as it relates to Blythe Police Chief Ross Thompson. We will talk about that vote coming up this Tuesday in a little bit. But first, let me get some announcements out of the way. But first of all, let me say I want to say that I was very moved, so inspiring that me and my family, we got together this weekend and we gave honor to our king and queen, my grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Morris Jacobs. Um, it was very, very moving, very touching, heartfelt. We had a balloon release this Saturday, yesterday, in honor of my grandparents. So to all my family who traveling back home, may God be with you. May God keep you. And next year we will do it again. I want to say thanks to my aunt Doris. This was her vision, her ideal to do this thing this particular year. And so, family, please do send your thank yous to my aunt Doris Jacobs. Okay. Now, also we got some things coming up this week um, as it relates to the Blava City Council meeting um, that is to take place Tuesday, October the 19th. Okay. And that meeting, I've sent out the petition to all the city council members, as well as asking them to consider taking this vote. Now, it's still up to the city council to take this vote, okay? But many of you have reached out to me. I thought about pulling back, allowing the city council um, to set their own timeline in terms of when to have this vote of no confidence in the police chief. But we set a date and we want to be committed to it. And so we're asking for them to take a vote this Tuesday at the Blavel City Council meeting. And we're hoping that many of you will be able to make it out, okay? So please do come out. Before I go any further, I missed an announcement. Many of you know that we're still having some issues with the Blavel school board. There's been a lot of confusion on that board, and what um, I've been doing in terms of making some calls, and I think I got the answer that I want. Um, Hopefully, all 8 school board seats will be up for election. excuse me, in 2022, this coming year. Um, that was due to a change in a 10% minority increase uh, for the Blythe School District, City of Blythe overall. I mean, the population, it doesn't change. We don't lose people. Um, and so, therefore, we have to redraw the map for the Blythe School District. And in redrawing the map, that means all 8 seats will be up for re-election. That's what we're working on. So if you want to run for school board, please get yourself together, uh, find out what ward uh, that you uh, that you are in. Now, a map came out in the Courier News. Um, I think it was this past week. That's the old map. Okay, that is the old map, the 8 seats. When these lines are redrawn, that map will be no good. Okay, so you still need to find out after the new map is presented, you need to find out what school zone that you live in order to run for that particular seat. Okay, excuse me. And I think I'm looking down at my announcement here. I think I got everything out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and try to roll into the show. Okay. Now, before I start the show, I think I need to uh, uh, bring some attention to another issue where a black business was under attack again. So we're going to get that out of the way before we speak about the police chief. I want to play a little short video for you all, and hopefully you will um, listen to these words to where, um, well, I'll let you listen and you be the judge. So let's play this video now. It concerns a program for uh, young people. I think it's called the Light dancers, elite dancers, I think what it's called, over in the plaza on East Main Street. Um, the police department now has made that a target. So let's go up here and play this quick little uh, comments from Chief Ross Thompson. Okay, so let's play that now. Let's try to find it. Let's go up here right now and try to find it. Okay. And I think we have it. Let me make sure I get it on the right. I think I get it on the right thing here. So let's go ahead and play this now. Okay, shall we? So just listen.
Our operator, and we also received one from the Elite Diamond Dance, which is on East Main, for a large party or a disturbance, and they had been previously warned, I think maybe around April, for a similar event there. Some of this information will be forwarded to the city council, city collector's office. My bad. Does anybody have any questions about the report?
So that was pretty much that. Let's go ahead and shut it down right now.
I did include some statistics on that.
Okay.
I'm going to try to go over that with you.
Let's shut it down right now.
Email to you.
Now, let me turn that off. Like I still get it playing, so just give me 1 minute. Let me shut this down. Okay, we got rid of that. All right, now, many of you might have heard of the group called the Elite Dancers, I believe. That is a group that I'm just not learning about. I heard that they are some very talented young people who travel across this country competing. And from what I understand, they have really competed against some top performing teams in the nation. Well, this these ladies are providing a safe haven for these young people to participate in and have fun at the same time, learning a talent. Um, as you heard, Chief Thompson, he compared whatever I guess is loud music disturbance. Now compare that to Barbara McAdoo Brothers, who have a business also on East Main. If you heard, it was gunshots and another disturbance to whether she was involved in a fight with some patrons at her business. Now, gunshots and Mrs. Brothers being in a fight. Wouldn't you think that the chief would have also stated that there is a need to warn Mrs. Brothers? But no, he had stated that the light dancers had already been warned in the past. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And if you caught that very end of it, he said that he was going to send some of this information. I don't know what he mean by some. Why not just send it all? But he said he was going to send some of this information over to the tax collector's office. The tax collector's office and Chief Thompson, I believe that they are. I'm just going to have to just say it. It seemed like they in cahoots together to where the chief will give the tax collector a list of businesses that he have selected or targeted uh, to try to bring some type of warning toward them um, in terms of their business. And so that has to stop. I just wanted to show that to you. So that's the latest business attack. We can't let that happen, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, these young women who oversee that program, they really are working with our young people, keeping them busy, keeping them safe, and at the same time, um, teaching them a talent to where, as I understand, they are very, very good in what they do nationwide. Okay, so that's pretty much all that. Now let's roll into this show. As I indicated, we're going to be. Let me go to my board right here. I had some stuff that I want to put up here, show you some banners. Um, Let me go to them. Now, first of all, as I indicated, come Tuesday, okay, the city council, that's the 19th. The city council, kind of raise my chin up a little bit to get my banner sort of covering my face. The city council on Tuesday, 10/19/21, to take a vote of no confidence in police chief Ross Thompson to remain in position, to remain in his position. Okay, that's going to be the vote that is to come up. You can also see it down on my crawler, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. My crawler also mentioned the same thing. Come Tuesday, 10/19/21, how the city council is to take this vote. So I just want to just blow it up for you all temporarily right now for you to see it again. City council on Tuesday, 10/19/21, to take a vote of no confidence in police chief Ross Thompson to remain in his position. I need for you all to come out this Tuesday um, to listen and try to get an understanding as to who will vote one way or the other. Now, there are some things that can happen that can affect this vote coming up Tuesday. Number one, it's up to the mayor. I think is he set the agenda or he makes out the agenda. Um, I don't know if the president participate with him or not. President of the city council I'm talking about. Um, but he will be the one to make out the agenda. I have sent emails to them, weeks ago, asking them to bring this up for a vote. I will also remind them when I end this show uh, to put this on the agenda come Tuesday. Now, how can this vote not happen? Number one, the mayor can just not put it on the agenda. So you really do need to call Mayor Sanders, call his office, and demand that he put this vote on the agenda, a vote of no confidence in Police Chief Ross Thompson remaining in his position. Okay? Call his office and also reach out to your city councilman, city councilwoman, whichever, and ask them also to make sure that they ask of the mayor to put this vote of no confidence on the agenda come Tuesday city council meeting. Okay? Now, as I indicated, he just might not try to put it on the agenda. We hope that he will with the help of you and the city council. Now, what's another reason? Well, let's just say hypothetically this vote is taken. From what I understand, that um, it may be, let's just say it's a tie vote. Let's talk hypothetical. Let's just say the vote is 3-3. There is 6 city council members that make up the city council board. Now, if the vote is 3-3, for the most part, the mayor will break. Um, he has the vote to break the tie. Now, I am told that if that is the case, that it's a 3-3 vote, and the way the parliamentary procedures work on such a vote like this in a tiebreaker, where the mayor should cast the vote to break the tie. I am told that the mayor just very well might abstain from voting. If Mayor Sanders abstained from voting, then that means it's the same as a no vote. It's the same as a no vote. So I don't know how that will work out, but I will say the people will not get what they want in terms of the vote of no confidence uh, being passed, only because Mayor Sanders either might not vote. He may abstain. So call Mayor Sanders and demand that he cast the vote. Let's not walk away from this here. This is long overdue. We need to have this vote. If the mayor going to vote no, vote no. If he's going to vote yes, vote yes. But we need for him to vote one way or the other. We want him to vote, not run away from this issue. It's too important. Okay. Now, we've been talking about some other things, of course, in regards to why the police chief should be um, removed as police chief. And we put together, let me go over here, we put together some things that we believe um, as why chief should be removed. So let's go up here right now and try to find these things. As I say now, let me go up here to and show you something. Many of you already done visit my page and signed this petition, this online petition. As you can see, since last time, we done picked up some more signatures, 118 signatures. Now, many of you may think that that is a low number. That's not a low number. That 118 you see, that is for a city employee, not official. That is more than enough votes. I mean, that is very sufficient in terms of raising an eyebrow about a public employee. Okay, that's what Chief Thompson is. He's a public employee. All right. Now that 118, you might as well go ahead and add probably another 300 signatures to that. Most people who want the chief removed as well choose not to sign the petition for whatever reason, but they choose not to sign the petition. So there is much support on this petition in terms of a vote of no confidence, action of the council, and passing on to the mayor for him to go ahead and remove the police chief shall this vote of no confidence pass. Okay? Now, that is the petition. All right? Now, let's go up here. Now, let's talk about some things as to why this police chief need to be removed. Now, many of you know that this city have really paid out thousands of dollars along with the municipal lead attorney, municipal lead program, if you will. That's what I call them, municipal lead. I don't know what do you call them. They some type of organization that take on clients, municipalities representing them. And Blava is one of those clients up under the municipal league. Okay. So although Blava only paid, from what I understand, 10% of every lawsuit that is brought against the city. The thing is, though, if you continue to get paying out thousands of dollars, whoever wrote the insurance to carry our police officers, that's what we're talking about now, blanket cover. When you get any particular police officer to where it's becoming pretty obvious that this officer is a liability, and unless the Blythe Police Department make a decision as to how they're going to deal with this police officer going forward, they could lose their insurance liability. Okay, for us being bonded. No police officer will be bonded, and we're trying to get some type of law or ordinance that if you don't carry your own liability insurance, you can't work as a Blythe police officer. Okay. Now, again, that is one of the bullet points as why the chief should be dismissed. Okay. Okay, and now this is very important. The city of Blythe ranking in the top 10 most dangerous cities in Arkansas. Okay. You can Google it, just about any website that you want to visit. Whenever it's talking about the most dangerous cities in the city of Blythe, in the state of Arkansas, uh, you can be almost certain that Bravo will be ranked in the top 5. I say the top 10 most dangerous cities, but I believe Bravo is ranked in the top 5. I want to say the top. I want to say somewhere around 2 or 3. I think right behind Pine Bluff, and there's another city that have a high violent crime rate. But I do know that Bravo's in the top 5. All right, so that is a reason. Okay, let's find another one. Unfair hiring and promotion process of officers. For many of you who didn't hear, we did have the two Osceola police officers hired by the Blythe police chief. They went straight to the drug task force uh, um, department, if you will. Now, the drug task force, from what I understand, um, that's pretty much a job where you supervise your own self. A word that we use, a gravy job. I mean, it's pretty much like you, your own person, your own boss, your own supervisor. Actually, nobody ever see you. Nobody don't know what you're doing, and so I think that's an ideal job for some police officer who's trying to elevate themselves in terms of going up the promotion change. Excuse me. And so that's what I'm thinking as to why there were some Blythe police officers who had a desire and maybe being appointed to the drug task force. But because of these two police officers who had issues at the Osceola Police Department as to why they quit Osceola Police Department and they joined the Blythe Police Department, went straight to the DTF, Drug Task Force. Many officers, told, within the Blythe Police Department took issue to that. They didn't think it was fair for them just to walk on and to the Blythe Police Department and just start at the top. So I understand that there was some very confusion, low morale going on within the Blythe Police Department. I'm told that there are some officers who were considering trying to find employment at other police departments, that it be Mississippi County or outside Mississippi County. And so it was a mess. But I think that situation worked itself out. Those two police officers, they went back to Osceola. And so the two positions that were made available on the drug task force, to my knowledge, they don't exist now. Again, that is unfair. If you had two positions to hire the two Osceola police officers, sending them to the drug task force, then why aren't those same two positions yet open? So again, that's unfair in terms of the hiring and the promotion. Also, we have a low diversity, not a low diversity, but we have a diversity problem. Hiring minorities, people of color, and women into the Blythe Police Department. I think it's fair to say that Blythe Police Department, in terms of diversity, Blythe Police Department has to be somewhere between, I want to say 90, 95, 96% white. Very few blacks that work for the Blythe Police Department. You may have, I want to say, one or two patrolmen and the others that work for Blythe Police Department. They carry some ranking. That it be a lieutenant, that it be a assistant chief, or what have you. Maybe two people, to my knowledge, who has any kind of ranking when it comes to the Blythe Police Department. So that is one. We don't have very much to go. And like I said, this caused a low morale within the Blythe Police Department when you have unfair hiring and promotion, being biased, even when it comes to diversity, bringing on bringing on as many black potential police officers to try to make those numbers better. I'm not going to say make it equal, because I don't think we ever get to that, but we do have much room to improve in terms of hiring people of color and women as well on the Blythe Police Force. Okay, let's find another one. Wrongful termination of police officers. You do know that back years ago, one case that I know, Officer Rodney Richardson, he was terminated from for going to church, and so that was a very, very, uh, I would say, unfair thing of Chief Ross Thompson to terminate a man uh, who went to church. And so, of course, he got his job back, and then somewhere along the line, um, they terminated him again. And I think Officer Rodney Richardson went and found work elsewhere after that. And there also was a gentleman who was fired for parking, I believe, in a handicap uh, spot. You would think that that would be very, uh, I don't know, it's sort of petty. I mean, there's many people who park in handicap spots. If there is going to be some type of, uh, punishment, uh, I think that punishment to where it was an overreach in terms of terminating a police officer. Now they could have rolled him up or what have you, gave him a warning or what have you, but just to fire him for parking in a handicap spot, I think there was an overreach in a disciplinary action that they assessed against the officer. Um, let's find another one. Where we at? Where we at? Okay, let's talk about this here one. Selected policing. Police patrolling. They less proactive in various communities. Selective policing is simply what is it read. As I mentioned, it seemed like the police department, they're selective in terms of where they police and who they police. Um, we brought up the businesses. There has been three businesses, three with the one I mentioned today. You all know about Mrs. Diane Moss, how they tried to revoke her license. There's another lady downtown, black lady who operate a business. I think she got multiple things that she do in her business. Miss Pamela Smith is who I'm speaking of, where she did all the proper things in terms of trying to get a temporary liquor permit for a fundraiser, and Chief Ross Thompson would not sign off on it. Um, he really didn't even give a reason. He just wouldn't sign off on it, and so uh, that was another case. And here it is, just this past week, him giving his report. Now he going after a group who working with youth, um, teaching them a skill, dance skills, to where they travel all across this country. And while they got those young people down there working with them, uh, they teaching them, social skills as well. And so I think that's a good thing. And for Ross Thompson, Chief Ross Thompson, to try to shut down uh, that group, uh, I think it's very mean spirit of him. And so selective policing has to stop. Another thing before I close on it, there's a gentleman who I heard, Mr. Williams, uh, got what part of town. I don't want to say if it's Walnut, Chickasaw, or somewhere in that area, where he has went before the Blythe City Council at least, I want to say twice, to where he continued to reach out to the Blythe Police Department about trying to take some proactive measures. They keep telling him to make a complaint. As he indicated, he felt a little discouraged making complaints, not knowing he probably done made complaints in the past and they went nowhere. Okay. And what he want them to do, he done gave them as much information that they need to at least do something. Take proactive measures. That's what he's calling for. Whether they ride down that portion of the town where he lived, I don't care if they don't sit there before 30 minutes, but show up, do something, make the traffic in Mr. Williams' area make it uncomfortable. If you show your presence, uh, Chief Ross Thompson, if you have your officers to show their presence, to be a little bit more proactive in patrolling, that probably will slow down some of the traffic. But you can't just throw your hands up in the air and say file a report, because many have filed a report in the past and nothing come of it. Many have made phone calls to the police officers, and then they take their sweet time getting there, first of all. And then when they get there, they say, we didn't see nothing. Well, you would think so, duh. I mean, you need to be more proactive, use some other strategy in terms of trying to bring some satisfaction to these complaints when they're being called in. You can't just keep doing the same thing and then want to have the excuse, well, when we get there, we didn't see nothing. So you need to be a little bit more visible in these communities where these complaints is coming in at. Proactive policing is what we're talking about. Proactive patrolling. Okay? As you patrol, we want you to be proactive. Quit trying to be reactive. You always want to react when something bad happens. How about using proactive measures? So that's what Mr. Williams is talking about. So we got to end this selective policing, okay? I'm almost finished, you all, and then I'll turn it over to my audience, see if you got any comments or questions, and we'll conclude this broadcast. One more is at 36 minutes. Then we'll conclude this broadcast. Where we at? Lawsuits. I think we pretty much done got all through it, I believe, you all. Let me see. Is there anything else do I need? Talking in black businesses, I think I told you about the elite dancers, which is the most recent group that Chief Thompson is targeting. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please, City Council meeting on Tuesday, 10/19/21, to take a vote of no confidence in Police Chief Ross Thompson to remain in his position. Again, they may try to pull a fast one on us and not want to have that meeting. Please call Mayor Sanders, call your city council rep, and demand that they have this vote come Tuesday. Okay? There is some other information, and I'm closing, that I've received, that the Blavel Police Department continue to muddy the water into the I forget this cop named Zachary. What is that? Parrington. I think they did something that they might not have, should not have done. I'm talking about the Blavel Police Department. They keep muddying the water when it comes to this investigation. This investigation is outside the jurisdiction of the Blavel Police Department. They should not have anything to do with this investigation. To my understanding, and speaking with the sheriff department, they have jurisdiction of this investigation because it happened outside the city council. And they also are working in conjunction with the state police. Okay? Blavel need to quit interfering with this investigation. I don't know why they continue to interfere with this investigation. I did receive some information of this last stunt that they that they pulled. I'm yet trying to get some information on that, and hopefully I get that information in the coming week. When I get that information, I will report back to the public. Well, that is pretty much all I had. Let me go down this here and make sure I didn't leave anything out. Another thing that Chief Ross Thompson, when he gave his report, he mentioned all the, the number of, say, crimes, that it be assaults, that it be breaking and entering or whatever. It's one thing that the chief do not report on when he give his report. He do not report on the number of citizen complaints against police officers or against city employees, for that matter. We never hear that report. And that's why we need to have the Citizen Review Board put in place very quickly. We need to have some oversight over the Blythe Police Department because, as we know it now, our police chief looks at all the complaints, and I think it's fair to say that if he see a complaint that he don't like, then there will be no action taken on that complaint. There need to be oversight with looking at these citizen complaints as they are filed with the Blythe Police Department. Um, that's pretty much all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please come out Tuesday at the city council meeting and let's ask Mayor Sanders and the council to not postpone, to carry on with this vote of no confidence. And Mr. Mayor, we ask you not to take the position to abstain from voting. You have a duty. You have a duty, Mr. Mayor, to respond to the wishes of the voters in Blytheville, Arkansas. So we need for you to cast a vote one way or the other, yay or nay, yes or no. We do not want you to take the position to abstain from voting. In closing, if our officials cannot act on our behalf, then we need to seriously think about looking at some other uh, um, person who has made him or herself as a candidate. We need to seriously be thinking about that. These officials need to understand that they work for you. They work for us. We are the employers. They are the employees. They don't tell us what to do. We tell them what to do. Okay? I never worked a job where the employees tell the employer what to do. If that's the case, well, I don't need to tell you. They'll soon be fired, won't have a job. All right? Insubordination. So I know everybody's into this football game, uh, and so I don't think we get very many people that's tuning in right now. Hopefully they'll tune in later. But I still get to run my show at the hour that I run it. But I guess we got that's Miss Williams. They're just speaking. How you doing, Mrs. Williams? How you doing, Mrs. Bond? That's my brother, Mr. Maurice Stringer. How you doing? Okay, is this a question? Okay, this is a question. Uh, do you have any time frame as to when the new school map will be available? To my understanding, I think the way that process worked, Mrs. Barnes, is that the superintendent and the school board, I think what they would do, they would have to hire a demographicer. I guess I pronounced that right, demographicer. When they go out and hire such demographicer, I think what the demographicer will do, they will, you know, draw the map uh, for each zone. Okay. Now the school board will decide how many zones they want. That it's going to be 5, that it's going to be 7, and I think there may be another option where it's 7 and 2. I mean, excuse me, 5 and 2, 5 zones and 2 at large. But to answer your question, I think the demographic, once they do their work, they go out and they do their thing in terms of drawing up the zones equally, you know, uh, and assigning them, a different zone or whatever. Some people call it certain districts, but the way we know them, they are zones. So once they draw the map, uh, that's when they'll go to step 2, I guess. And there may be some who look at the map. When I say some, there could be school board members. It could be people that live in a particular zone. They may think it's not fair in terms of how the map is drawn. And so that could be an issue. But if there is no issues, okay, if there is no issues, then that's when the map, to my understanding, will be approved, I want to say, by the quorum court. But I may be wrong. I get back with you on that. But to answer your question, there'll be a demographic. They go out and do their job in terms of drawing a map for all 5, 7 zones or whatever, whichever we choose. And that's when you'll find out what zone you live in. You can go to the Mississippi County courthouse. Hopefully it'll be open. If not, you have to go to Burdett and just ask for the Blavel school zone map, and they will give you the latest update map. Okay, so that is that. Do we have another question? Oh, that's my sis. What's going on, sis? I hope your mouth feeling better. You're telling me you went to the dentist. We had a lovely time yesterday at our family gathering. Okay. All right. Who else we got here? We got Miss Williams. Do your job, Mr. Mayor. She's sending a message to you, Mr. Mayor. She said, do your job. I don't see any more comments, any more questions, ladies and gentlemen. So you know me. I'm not going to delay you any longer. Again, please pass the word, asking others to attend the upcoming Blavel City Council meeting, where we asking them to take a vote. When I say them, I mean the City Council, to take a vote of no confidence in Chief Ross Thompson remaining in his position as chief. Okay? They got no power to terminate the chief. They can only take a vote of no confidence in the police chief. In other words, they have no confidence in him remaining in his position. So upon that, they will pass that vote on to Mayor Sanders, asking him to terminate Ross Thompson as chief of police for Blythe, Arkansas. Hopefully, Mayor Sanders will stand tall, do the responsible thing, do right by the people, and he will have the courage to cast the vote on behalf of what the people are calling for. So that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see any more comments or questions over here. And so, you know me, as I always say, we're not going to delay this thing much longer. So I would like to say peace and love to you all. And please do come back to see me again this coming week. Okay? And so that is my show. So again, tune in Sunday, 10/24/21. Topic to be announced. Tony Hollis live talk show testify. So until then, peace and love. God bless and good night.